Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. We are just a day away, getting this done and over with, and getting on with the business of America is business. Let's check out. There it is, right there. The dollar index. You can see just on the edge, trying to break down here. It's been weak throughout. I don't know, last week or so, but you can see on the daily sells more than anything else. It tried to get into a daily buy somewhere around here. It didn't work, of course, because it was a red dot, and you can see the pressure on it. So we're just watching this consistent confusion. There's talk about the quarter point drop on Wednesday, and they're thinking, wait a minute, will bonds go up even more because of that? They're up 70 bips, and the Fed dropped them 50 bips. So it's like, wait a second, the Fed lowered the official rate, but they're up. That's confusing, isn't it? I find it to be funny, but it is what it is, and that's what's going to keep on happening as far as I can tell. We'll see you on Wednesday. Especially after the election Tuesday night, which I think we're going to know a lot of answers to very quickly. I just don't see Mr. Trump is very efficient, so I can't imagine him allowing anything but that. So we'll see. What else can we say about the dollar index? I guess we could take a look at the bond real quick, see what the bond is looking like, and then we can go over and check out the currencies themselves. We shall see, we shall see, we shall see. Okay, so let's go check out the 10-year bond, because that is what we saw. They lowered the rate and it went up. So in other words, the official rate is lower, and the actual trading, it's like watching gold and silver and platinum and so forth. It's the same type of confusion going on. The official rate by Fed gets lowered by a half a point, and the interest rates go up by 3/4 of an interest point. It's like, wait a minute, I thought it was supposed to go down. And as you can see there's this week, another week of in the weekly sell. You can see, every time it tries to get into the buy, it fails, and we're back into that sell again, right here, going into. Let's see what this is right here. Let's make it the full screen. So there is, let's see, right there. Let's give it a refresh. Because it doesn't look happy. Let's see. There, let's give it a refresh. And there is, oh, let me put the chat line up. I just realized I don't even have the chat line up. Let's see, where's the chat line? Right there. There we go. Sorry about that, traders. I just realized that we've gone 3.5 minutes without the chat line up. So there it is right there. There's Friday. So it was still in the plus on Friday. Let's show you the screen there. Nope, full screen right there, like that. So yeah, on Friday it was in the plus. You see the algorithm kept on pushing into the plus, but we had all those red dots, so it told us that just stand to the side. And at the same time, here you can see it here. At the same time, with the red dots, even with the green dots that tried to appear, it was in a minus. And the weekly, right there, you can see the weekly was also in that sell, for a good many weeks. I think up on the spreadsheet. Let's see what it says on the spreadsheet. I think the spreadsheet is 5 weeks in a weekly sell now. So this is going on a 6th week. So the dollar index and the currencies are marching along to the interest rates, and the interest rates are confusing people because the official rate gets dropped and the interest rates rise. That's very weird. All right, let's go over to the euro and see what's going on in the euro today. Right there. There's the euro. You can see it's been in that buy now for, what's that, 3, 6, going on a 7th day. Let's scroll it down a little bit there. There's a, where's that? Right there, 7 days in a daily buy, 6 weeks in a daily sell. But look at it, they're getting that, making that quick turn there. Now, if the interest rates, if the euro goes up against the dollar, then we're thinking maybe interest rates will kind of stall out, and they won't keep on climbing. I mean, that's what's putting the pressure on this product right here. Is that you see that they lowered the interest rates right here, and instead of they anticipated, well, they're going to lower interest rates, and they did, and then all of a sudden the traders, or what they call the bond vigilantes, said, nah, no, it was way too big. Imagine if they'd just done a quarter. I say that all the time on the webinar here now. It's like, just imagine if they'd just done a quarter. People would have been like, yeah, okay, we're getting at the beginning of this stuff. We're going to lower interest rates and things are going to start to smooth out. But then they go and lower it a half on a political whim. And a lot of good economists said, don't do this at all. A lot of bad economists said, do it. The bad economists seem to get the traction, and the good economists don't win Nobel Prizes. It's really weird. For a very easy way to measure who's been right and who's been wrong, the bad economists get all the credit, and all the good economists, no one pays attention to them. It's really odd. Because I pay attention to the good economists who are always, seem to be almost, say 80, 90% of the time right, and then the ones that are like never right get Nobel Prizes. It's like the whole world just seems to be turned upside down. No wonder there's so many wars going on and problems. We've got a lot of people doing a lot of wrong things, promoting wrong ideas. But anyway, you can see right here, the last 4 or 5 days, it's trying to lift up. You can see the pressure on it there. And now you see a quick curve here today, and you can see the fast is just inches away from, well, actually, it's above it. See it there? On plot 6. We're going to put the plot 6 up. See what we got. See, it's plot 6, the blue one down at the bottom. 0.000, so 4 zeros and a 5. It's actually climbing into the buy side. The plot 4 and plot 1 are minus still. You can see it there. They're down below. You can see the histogram down lower. But it's trying, So, with the election popping out in another, I don't know, well, it's been election season, really. So we're seeing, what is this stuff? They keep on seeing some of the strangest polls out of nowhere. All of a sudden saying something that makes no sense. So it'll be fun. Tomorrow night it'll be over with, and we won't have to hear all these foolish things. All right. From there we jump over to the cable. See if the cable elected. They elected a woman leader, and for the opposition. So this is interesting. Let's see how that looks. There's right there. You can see it's trying to bounce up, but still in the sell. Let's get a sell line in there. Right there. So it's been in the sell since there. Oh, we don't want to move that. There we are. What's really truly entertaining is that they really slammed it. This was the opposition's budget. Or no, I'm sorry. This is Labor Party's budget, and they didn't like it. You can see the smackdown on it. You can see all this selling going on a 6th week. Now, no doubt, on Friday they tried to perk it up a little bit, and it's doing it again today. We got a green and a red, so we may get some action out of this again. Mr. Trump wins. I think you're going to see a lot more positiveness, not negatives. So, where else are we at? I guess what it comes down to is it's just a constant push, spin. There's names everywhere that are talking about how they see very negative action from the ruling party now. So hard to believe they'll win, but we'll see. I don't think they will. I think Trump is going to win by 8 to 10%. All right, and from there, there's the Swiss. Let's make this tighter so you can get a better view of it, like so. Swiss is trying to move down today. You can see it's there. It's a minus. You see it's still in that weekly buy, but it is curving. And you can see here the fast has already dropped. It's minus 0.0013. So it's trying to break down. It's they're trying to sell the dollar, buy other things, and that could be this could be the beginning of it all, and we'll see how it plays out. From there, where do we go from there? We go to, let's see if we just give it a spin there. Nothing so far. There we go. So, from the Swiss, we shoot over to the yen. Let's see what they did. I heard that the Nikkei felt some pressure yesterday. You see here, we're in a sell for a few days. It is trying to press down. When it's in a sell, it's gaining against the dollar. Like this big move up was a loss against the dollar. What else is there? Let me just double check something, because I don't see Robin up on the system either. Let's see, where are we at here? Let's see. Where's the Robin? There we go. So that is that type of quiet day that's going on. That's what it really comes down to. It's a quiet day. We're on the edge of the election. Quiet day on the edge of election. All right. Now from there, we take a look at, I'm curious. Let's just see what the Nikkei did do. I looked at it last night. It didn't really reflect it, so let's see what it's doing this morning. Especially when I heard, yeah, see, it's just reflecting the first. It's not giving us, not sure why it's not, but in fact, it's not giving us a lot. Let's give it a spin again. And let's try this too. Let's see what's going on there. And 225. They're saying it's down over 1,000 points last night, but they're not reflecting it on the chart yet. So we're seeing the price action from it, but we're not seeing the chart movement. Interesting. Very interesting. And what is that? That is... Now they're actually showing it to be a gain. The chart is actually showing it to be a gain on the Nikkei, not a loss. So Friday it sold down 1,000 points, or 2.63%. All right. Let's go to the Turkish lira. See what they're doing with that today. You see that's, ooh, look at that. 6 weeks in a sell now officially, and making a run towards the buy side. We'll see. Again, we really think it's not as much as we're seeing a stronger or weaker Turkish lira. I think we're really seeing a stronger euro unit itself. That's what I think the strength is it's the euro unit itself. And you can see here it's in a daily buy now for was that 6? This is the 8th day in a daily buy. 8th day. Let's see how it says on the spreadsheet. Yeah, 7 days right there, and 6 days in a sell, 6 weeks in a sell. So this is the first time in 3 years we've had 6 weeks in a sell. See how they complete the week with all the noise and economic reality coming in. We'll see. And then from there we'll jump over to the South African Rand right there. South African Rand's got that tiny little downslope, nothing major. You see the weekly is trying to make a sharp curve, that's for sure. Neither of them made it into the minus yet, but you can see the little teeny weeny little trend there is trying to be on the downside, and this curve here is really tough. Both of them are just making a dash to the sell side, and that would be bullish for gold. Let's see where gold is at. there was some headlines out there about the Chinese will prop up the gold market to 3,000, which is, at first I kept on thinking to myself, wow, 3,000, that's pretty wild. And then I started realizing that's only 200 points away, $200 away. That's not the most exciting, move. $200. I mean, yeah, no doubt it's good. But you can see here there's been the pressure on it for 3 days now. And on the spreadsheet, I'll show you where it's at on the spreadsheet. Right there. 18 weeks in a buy and 2 days in a sell. Today's the third day. That's what you're seeing up on the screen there. A third day in a sell. All right, and then from there, where do we go from there? We go to, we'll find it in a second or two. Let's see. Let's go to silver. Silver, looking the same way. It's trying to perk up. It's trying to get some life into it. It's flirting with the weekly sell itself right now. All of the both the slow and the fast have broken down this morning. What really surprised me more than anything else is watching copper was acting strong this morning, and we want to look for the tip-offs of the next stimulus, because I did see some headline about China stimulus. They're waiting in the wings, type of thing. Just like we've been talking about. We're waiting in the wings. We figure they're going to give us another sugar high somewhere along the line. Let's hope that the market over there realizes that, let's say they do. You would think that they would do like 3 trillion won. Just a little under half a $500 billion. If they do a little something like that, it may, put more opportunity into believing that the stimulus is going to have some connection. Right now, if they only do another basically 1 trillion in won, you're talking about 156 billion dollars. They need to do $5 trillion, not 150 billion. They need to do trillions to get that economy back on track again. So that surprised me a little bit there. They're reaching in, and what's the other side we usually look at? Oh, I know what it is. We look at some of the like Singapore, and we look at Hong Kong. Let's see what they're doing in Hong Kong this morning, since gold and copper are moving the way they are. Where's Hong Kong? Hang Seng, right there. It's showing some strength too. You see it here. They're trying to lift it. Now, if it gets up to here, then you start anticipating that they're going to do their stimulus again. And you can see the weekly right there. 4 weeks in a weekly sell. Let's give it a spin again there to freshen it up. We're figuring that the Singapore Straits Times will start to reflect it. Maybe Taiwan will start to reflect it. Start to see strength in all those things. Here's the daily. And it's not really lifting yet. That's Hong Kong. Let's go see what Singapore looks like, because that's what copper says to me. When I see that, I start to think, okay, they're going to put another stimulus in. Can they get away with it? You know what I mean? When the market has a good general idea that it just isn't as valid, as it has been. Now you can see here, 3 weeks in a weekly sell, right there like that. You can see that 3 weeks in a weekly sell, and what is that? Let's give it a spin again, refresh it so we can see really what they're doing. You see a couple days in a buy. Let me just show you that since we refreshed it. See that? It's kind of digging in and starting to lift. So that's something we keep our eye on and start thinking stimulus. And you can see it's in the daily buy too algorithm is in the plus right there. The only thing we're waiting for now is to get a bounce out of the weekly. See, last 2 days there. And there, yeah, that was Friday right there. So it's pressing down from the action we're seeing now. Taiwan. Let's take a look at Taiwan. We're right on the edge of watching these things start to make a move. And if they start to make that move, then we think we're going to see some good sugar high. Sugar, sugar. Right there. Taiwan. Give it a refresh too. Yeah, see, it's doing that same thing. They're all getting a little bimp, getting that bump going. And we just need to see this weekly try to turn up in here. It could be, we might be like 2 weeks away. Think about this. Mr. Trump wins big. They know that they've got to stimulate. They've just got to stimulate. They've got to start using some of their resources. They've got almost $1 trillion sitting here in the States, and they need to spend $5 trillion, anywhere from 4.5 to 5 trillion, to stimulate their economy. So, it would be nice if they did it like the way the communists normally do it. In slices. Where they say, okay, we're going to do a 5-year plan, and we're going to stimulate here, and then we're going to stimulate there, and we're going to stimulate over here. Just that whole consistency like that. Let's see. Oh, you're not even seeing any of these things I've been putting up. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, there's you can see it right there. So we have Taiwan and Singapore lifting, and Hong Kong. I think Hong Kong was. Let's go back to Hong Kong. Hong Kong was, I think, still sideways down. Let's see. Right there. There's the Hang Seng. No, it's doing the same thing. It's lifting up also. So they're all trying to nibble in, with copper lifting too. Yeah, we got a good eyeball on all of it. And then let's go take a look at Shanghai. See what they did in Shanghai last night. Yeah, it was up too. Shanghai was up also. And it's in the weekly buy too. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, it closed in the weekly buy. Oh, let's do this. Let's refresh it so you can see it better. Looks like last Friday, they closed it in the weekly buy. Probably the reason why we're seeing that strength in the copper, especially after copper fell into the weekly sell at the beginning of last week. It dropped through it all. So you can see here, Friday it closes in a weekly buy. The Singapore was it? Yeah, that's the Shanghai index. Anyway, that's me talking about what we think we'll see and how we can follow the possible stimulation. All right. So from there, we go over to the energy sector. Oh, wait a minute. We didn't see platinum. Platinum was odd. They drove it into the weekly sell last week. And now they're trying to climb right back into the weekly buy. Let's put it up on the screen there. There it is right there. A little surprising. It's been in that sell for like 3 days. This is a 4th day, but we're getting a green and red dot on the daily algorithm. No, I'm sorry, on the daily bar itself, and then in the algorithm there too up top. And then you can see the algorithm is trying to get into the plus. You can see the weekly is in the plus at the moment. It's trying to get going. If it gets through that manifold, it's going to be even more powerful. So we seem to hope we've got the right handle. You know what I mean? How you hold something, you won't fall. All right, now from there, let's jump over to the energy sector. There we go. And there is crude oil. See, it's lifting up, getting into the plus. We'll go to recycling, and you can see the weekly is joined in. The weekly is also trying to get into the plus with no problem, really. Look at that. It's jumping right through the manifold. Total's total strength. Iran came out with more, threats to the economic universe. I would assume that they, it kind of, I don't know. It seems to be hollow to me, but it is what it is. All right. And then back to there, and you can see here, 3 days strength kicking out there. And you can see right here, trying to do the same thing, trying to lift, and then there is today. Is that today? Yeah, that's Friday. That is Friday. They're not showing it. Oh yeah, there it is, right there. There it is. That's today. It's going into the buy. So anyway, we got the weekly leaping up here on on Monday. Not even hesitating, just leaping right up. Ready. So from there, there we are. And then from that, we go over and take a look at Brent. Let's see what the Brent is doing. They follow each other really well. It's just a cost of carry, I guess you could call it, or transport costs when it comes to the Brent. But they all march up, so we know it's doing the same thing up there. 3 days in a buy, leaping through the weekly with no problem. Look at that. Zoom. From there, we take a look at a couple of the energy companies. We go over to. We take a look at heating oil, the fuel that feeds the airplanes, and just all of it. Everything that's. It's the processed material that a product, and you can see there it's leaping up also. And the weekly is trying to leap up at the same time. They're all just joining in. There's strength coming into the energy sector. Be it that, I guess, what they call it? Iran said that it was going to be teeth-breaking response. Teeth-breaking response. It's definitely an interesting thing to say. Their war council, or their security council, voted to attack Israel again with more force than before. Okay. See how that plays out. And that's why we're seeing energy markets lift. And then from there, let's take a look at natural gas. There's natural gas. You see natural gas popping its head up a little bit today, but it's in the cells. You can see here. Let's give it a refresh, and then we'll take a look at that again. So you can see here today it's green, moving up. You can see here it's fighting the tribe, but is not. But the weekly is. So you got a little action. You got this and this, and we're waiting for this to join in. That's what it comes down to. See that daily try to climb in there. And so like I said, the Persian, or the Iranian Ayatollah said that it's going to be tooth-breaking response. Tooth-breaking. So I guess they're taking it even more serious than usual. I don't know. From there we go over to Spain. Take a look at some of the energy company action over there. ENG, I think it is. ENG. Where are you? ENG. There it is, right there. Tooth-breaking reaction. Well, you see that's still down. Weekly, daily, and red dot. All three. All seeing the pressure. Here, weekly is definitely showing you the pressure. Daily, definitely showing you the pressure. And the dots even. Pressure. Days and days in cells, weeks and weeks in cells. So Europe is saying, hey, we don't think there's going to be a problem. in the United States, they seem to be lifting it up a little bit, saying there could be a problem. I don't know who to trust anymore. All I do is trust the math. That's the best way to go. We just trust the math. That's the best of all to follow. All right, and then from there, we'll take a look at one of the American energy companies. Right there, like so. Like so. There it is right there. And what else can we say about any of this? This is the ExxonMobil producing all these different products. You can see days and days of selling. You can see here the middle algorithm doing the same thing. Pressure for 3 days. And that is today too. So it's showing us the lot. No, that's Friday. So we're not even seeing what today is. And then you can see the weekly right there. Same situation. Let's see if we can get a quote on that. It's kind of a little early. Remember, we have the time change. So that time change really makes it a little bit more complicated. But let's see what they do for XOM. Looks like it's down today. It is November 1st. What is I think that's today. Yeah, that's today. So they have the product. No, they have it up what is that? $1.83? Yeah, down to $1.83 at the moment. So the stock itself here too, like in Spain, are moving down. They're saying, earnings are going to drop a little bit because the price is going down. That's what they're saying. When the price goes up, their stocks go up in value because they're making money. When the price is going down, they're losing money. So that's why we watched those two different stocks at the same time to try to get a better flavor of all the action that's going on. And then, okay, so we're halfway through. What have we talked about? Let's think about this. What have we talked about? We talked about, Taiwan. All the little signs are that there might be another sugar high coming soon, but not right now. I guess that's really what it comes down to at this point. It's a constant battle back and forth of trying to figure out who the sugar high is. And right now, it has that look like maybe we're 7 or 8 days away from another cut, some type of stimulus in what product? In the energy sector. No, I'm sorry, in China. In other words, I could see, not this week, but next week, at the end of next week or something like that, they start to stimulate again. All right. With the action we're seeing in the copper and the way we're seeing some of the stock indices in the Asian sector get going. All right. Now from there, let's take a look at. Let's see. Let's see if Nikkei finally updated. Yeah, see, they're just still reflecting Friday. They're not reflecting today. And you can see here when we look, today is. Well, let's do this. Let's go with the world indices, markets, world indices. There it is. Oop, I thought I just saw it. There it is right there. They're just showing Friday's market. They're not showing today's market. And there's 5-day. Yeah, see, they're just showing Friday. Maybe they're closed today for a holiday. Who knows? From there, we go over to, let's see what South Korea does. Let's see how South Korea, we've already seen Taiwan is perked up. Right there. give it a refresh. And you see they're lifting up also. Now we just need to see that weekly try to turn up. So we're seeing a little buying here across the Pacific, basically minus. It looked like Nikkei was up when I looked at it. When I go into like a 1 month. At one point, I could have sworn we saw the Nikkei up. So we do a 5-day. It must be a holiday over there. Let's take a look at. Let's see. We've seen Taiwan and Hong Kong and Shanghai. They're all stronger. So we've seen Singapore still stronger. So let's take a look at Jakarta and see what Jakarta is up to. Right there. All right. Now that's interesting. That's an oil country. You can see a lot of selling going on here. A couple weeks in a sell. Well, actually, it's last week it closed in a sell. So closed in a sell last week, and it is. Pushing into the sell this week also at the same time. So this is the Jakarta index, and I think they produce 3-4 million barrels a day. That's I think they're very productive on the energy side. So with them going down, their stock indice kind of insinuates probably the same thing. The weakness in the energy. Now, no doubt, we showed you. When it comes to North Sea and West Texas Intermediate, they're lifting it up because the Ayatollah is saying that tooth breaking thing going on. All right, now from there we shoot over to the Nifty 50. Let's see what they're up to in India. I think we saw some strength going in Friday. Was it? No, it's still selling down. So it's been in that weekly sell for a while. I think the reality of the BRICS may be having some effect on it. It's a big responsibility to be a world reserve currency. Now, there's a lot of stories, and I was looking at them, and I was going to talk about them, and I never got around to reading them. And it's kind of interesting. Like, I'm trying to figure out, there's different financial people trying to coach them to have a gold component, in their note that Mr. Putin put out. It's going to be hard because we've seen what happened when they tried to pretend in China, oh yeah, we got a real convertible currency, it's great, and Saudi Arabia is buying oil now in yuan, not in dollars, and then they take the Saudis buy or sell them oil, they pay yuan, they quickly run to the Shanghai exchange, convert the yuan to gold, and then quickly export the gold within 24 hours. So within 48 hours, they sell oil to China. China gives them Chinese yuan, and they instantly rush to the Singapore exchange and get rid of the yuan and buy gold. And instead of leaving the gold in China, they ship it back home. So what they really did is they kind of really accepted gold for oil, which is not a hard to want to do, So that was to me, I thought that was a real, a warning. In other words, you can talk it and you can try to stimulate it, but in the end result is if your economy's not growing and you don't seem to be showing the profits, and you can see all these bankruptcies they've had in the real estate side and a few other things, it really makes it hard for anybody to want to basically hold yuan. And that's what they really, really want. That's what the BRICS are all about, is to be able to convert currencies and they want people to hold on to the paper, and in other words, to say, hey, yeah, this is a real legitimate product. Right now, they don't show any legitimacy. That's the problem, and I'm talking about the traders. The traders, every time they get a chance, they arbitrage it and get rid of it. No one seems to be holding on to the wand in any large amount, and it's trading about 6% of the world currency market, but unfortunately, it's fixed to the dollar. So in other words, how can you remove the dollar as the world reserve currency if you're fixed to it? That's the weird part. And the media and these fake economists that are political hacks, never seem to bring that conversation up. They ignore it. They just want to tell you how, you got to be invested in China. Us traders look at China like the cockroach hotel. You can get in, but you can't get out. So you go and buy something, and then you go look for a buyer to sell it higher, and there's no buyer to sell it higher too. It's a very, I want to say it's very irresponsible. It's a very irresponsible action. So, today's title is basically looking at the fact that we see these job numbers falling apart. Government jobs are the only thing that are really happening here in the States, and the growth is not there, and the growth is not in China, and it's a fight to the bottom more than it is a fight to the top. That's the problem. So, and I guess that's what we could say, is that that's what will be the title today too. A fight to the bottom, not the top. Let's see, BRICS. Let's see if we can do this again. There it is. So BRICS, let's see, no. Okay, it's a title. So title today. BRICS. Let's see, BRIC apostrophe S, right? BRICS. Fight to have value. That's what it is. BRICS fight to have value. And that's the problem, is that I myself as a trader would love to see a strong BRIC. And if they wanted to have a slice of the world currency market, that'd be fantastic. But as a trader, you gotta hope that when you buy something, you can sell it again. If you can only buy and you can't sell, you don't want to trade it. If you can only sell but not buy, you don't want to trade it. That's again, it's dangerous to sell something that you can't buy back. And it's also very, very dangerous to buy something and not be able to get out of it. And so, with the Shanghai market basically almost 50% lower at all time, from its all-time high, it just gives you that same feeling as Deutsche Bank or Citibank, where they're all flying so low below their all-time highs. Not 10 or 20 or 30%, but for Citibank, it's almost 90%. 90. So it's only 10% off its lows. That's all it is. And not even that. Not even 10% off its lows. Because the lows are like the 30 some odd dollar area, $28 area, and it's trading at $60, and the all-time high is like $670. So it's way, way off. And the same thing goes on with a lot of these other products. And now we're seeing Nifty 50, who's been very, very strong. Let's put that Nifty 50 back up there. Oh, there it is. It's still there. Good. So you can see this Nifty 50 for a long time has been very, very strong. And you can see they go to do the BRICS right here, and this is the BRIC week, and you can see this is not a good sign. That's because the South African Rand and the Nifty 50, or let's put it this way, the Indian Rupee and the South African Rand are really the pillars of BRIC. As much as the resources, that China doesn't have really much resources except for labor, but Russia has enormous amounts of resources and minerals and so forth and energies, and so it just shows you how weak the concept is. They want all the good stuff, and they don't want to talk about what is not good. That's what it comes down to. Matter of fact, is that today? That's a pretty big drift, Is that today? Yeah, that's today. Look at what they did to it. I mean, they just slammed it down even more. Keep on, maybe we'll start to get a little bounce again. Here's the daily algo. I mean, it's been, since they got, the BRIC conference and everything. This was the week of the BRICS. Then last week it was like, well, we're hoping, and this is the start of it, and the plans. And I keep on looking, what does the note do? The BRIC note. I mean, you buy it or sell it. Is it liquid enough yet? Who's backing it? Who's making the market in it? That's the bigger question. So when we find that out, then what we'll do is we'll be able to inform you, and we would love to watch it live every day. I really wish we had a BRIC index, but at this point, the only two floating currencies we can actually follow right now is the Nifty 50, the rupee out of India, and the South African rand. They're the only two we can really follow. After that, the Chinese yuan is fixed, to the dollar. So you're just watching a dollar, really. You're not watching the South African, not South African, the Chinese yuan, and the Russian ruble. I think is just in that same calamity, and we can put those up on the screen too. Matter of fact, where is that Russian ruble of late? I mean, it barely gets traded because of this war stuff that they're always doing. Let's see, Russia ruble. Let's see where they. I haven't even looked at the ruble in so long. Russian. Let's see, invest ruble. Not even sure if anybody's really, let's try it this way. Russian ruble. I don't even know if they trade it anymore because of all the craziness that's going on. Let's see if we can find currencies. There they are right there. Let's see what they'd show us there. Where is the ruble? There it is right there down at the bottom. And there's the ruble trading at 98.33. See what a 3-month looks like. And you can see it's lifting up. It's going the wrong. Remember, it's not doing well when it goes up. It only does. Let's try like 1 year. Even then, see when it did this back in May and June, July, when it moved down from the 94 area down to the 83 area, that was gaining against the dollar. Then they seemed to bottom again, and now we are back at the highs. I think the all-time high now is like 101 or something like that. Let's see what a 1 year looks like. Yeah, there it is right there. There's the all-time high at, no, that's 96. Let's go back a little bit, 5 years. See what, there you go. There's the all-time high of 154. Woof. Back in 22. I guess that was the beginning of the invasion situation. 151. Wow. They're showing a high there, 154.71. So, that's not the most stable currency in the world, and then the Chinese yuan. Let's see if we can find the Chinese yuan. China yuan. There it is right there. That's trading at 703. We can go like this 1 year. You can see it's come down from the 7.28 area down to the 7.009 area. So, it's doing something positive, I mean, this is the sugar high, but it's fixed to the dollar. So when we look at the dollar index, let's just go back to the dollar index. That kind of gives us that insight. Are they marching along perfectly together? We'll tell you in a second. We rarely look at it that way because of how illiquid it is. It's a fixed thing that the People's Bank of China comes out and announces what the price is. It's not exactly a free-floating currency there. Let's do this. Let's copy that and put it up on the platform there. There we are. And put 1 year up on that. You see, it was doing that same thing. It looked like the yuan, and then it's perked back up again. Now let's go back to that right there and put like a 1 year in. And it has that same pattern. Same pattern as the dollar. Only thing is it hasn't reached as high, that's all. But it's the same rhythm. All right. Where do we go from here? I guess the next stop would be, let's take a look at Europe and see what kind of action we're getting out of Europe this morning. Let's take a look at the DAX. Oh, let's just take a quick look as we cut across the planet. Let's take a look at Saudi Arabia. See what the Aramco is doing. Saudi. There it is. There's Aramco. Aramco lifting up a little bit there. A little nervous, I guess, with the tooth-breaking statement. And you can see the weekly buy-in. Just like the crude oil, moving the same exact way as crude and Brent on the upside there. Let's see how Rocket Red Glare looks today. There it is right there, the Tel Aviv Exchange. It's been climbing and climbing with all the violence and going on. Doesn't really, still in the buy there by the hair of its chinny chin. Let's just make that bigger, like so. Yeah, a little downwardly action there today. And see what else we got going on there. But still in buys. It's not letting go. From there, we'll go take a look at DAX. Right there. And it's showing strength. Was it Friday too? Let's give us a refresh. Friday seemed to be very positive also. I'll make that bigger. Whoa. There we go. There it is. That was in a minus on Friday. And here we are starting to lift up today. DAX is trying to lift, but we're still in the weekly sells. I think we saw that with the stock indices around the Europe and so forth. Let's take a look at the FTSE. Where's the FTSE at? FTSE. Excuse me. Where are you, FTSE? FTSE. There it is. There's the FTSE. I think we saw, I thought there was some positiveness out of the voting on Friday. So there you see that. It's still in the weekly sell for 3 weeks. See it's pressuring down again today. But you can see the daily is trying to get into a buy. Let's refresh that. And you can see it also there on Friday. It was in a plus, the stock index itself on Friday. And today it's up a little bit higher again. I'll just go like this with it too. You can see the full screen of it. And then let's take a look at the U.S. stock market. What we'll do is we'll go like this, and then we're going to shoot over to here. Let's just switch screens. Like that. And let's see what the U.S. stock market's doing. Here is the Dow Jones Industrial Average. You see it's trying to lift up. We're getting a green and a red. Still in the minus for a bunch of days now. What's that? 4, 8, 9. This is the 10th day in a sell, and it's the third week in a sell. Now, the S&P 500 was nowhere near as weak as that. There it is right there. And you can see it just broke down more over the last few days, going into a sell. Closed in the weekly sell. So, money is just trying to park itself on the side and wait for the news for tomorrow. So that's where we stand. All right, traders, this is Doc from North America, an hour earlier than usual. And that's cool. This is the way it's going to be now for like the next 6 months. So we're not complaining any. So, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders. Have a safe and smart trading day.